Wisdom is knowing what to do. Virtue is doing it. David Starr Jordan. The great schools of philosophy and thought have left deep imprints on history, with teachings that still resonate today, capable of guiding and orienting the way of seeing reality. But how have the concepts of the great philosophers shaped human thought? And how will they shape it again? This video briefly explores the most influential philosophical doctrines that have shaped us as humans and will continue to influence the way we think, the way we live. Today, these ancient theories help millions of people to understand more deeply the nature of things, to overcome difficulties, and in general, to live an authentic and conscious life. The first philosophy we encounter is Existentialism. Born in 19th century Europe, developed mainly in France and Denmark, it explores the meaning of freedom and individual choice. According to thinkers such as Jean-Paul Sartre and Søren Kierkegaard, the individual is called to build his own essence through his own actions, without allowing himself to be defined by external laws or social constraints. It is a way of looking at life that pushes us to take full responsibility for our own choices because man is condemned to be free, as Sartre said. This perspective leaves room for doubt and uncertainty, but at the same time, it is a liberation. There is no pre-written destiny, only possibility. The second current, the youngest on the list, born at the beginning of the 20th century in Germany, is Phenomenology. It delves into the realm of subjective experiences, seeking the essential structure of human perceptions. That is, it focuses on how the individual sees and interprets the world. Led by Edmund Husserl and expanded by Martin Heidegger, this philosophy explores how things appear to our consciousness. Attention shifts from large theoretical systems to lived experience. It is not so much what the world is like in itself that is important, but how it manifests itself to the mind. This perspective is profoundly influencing modern thinking, as it teaches us to consider the value of every perception and to live in the present with greater awareness. If you liked the video, would you be kind enough to like it and subscribe to the channel? Thank you. The third, Rationalism, considers reason as the ultimate foundation of knowledge. Famous for the phrase, "I think, therefore I am," René Descartes posited the human mind as an autonomous source of truth, capable of knowing without the need for sensory experience. This approach has given rise to a world of innate ideas and intuitions where reality can be deciphered through logic. The security of rationalism lies in the stability of ideas, a certainty that for many represents a solid foundation on which to build knowledge. The fourth philosophy is Platonism, which originated around the 15th century in Greece, and which draws a distinction between the physical world and a realm of eternal, perfect, and immutable ideas. Plato argued that what we see is nothing but a pale shadow of pure forms. According to him, universal concepts such as justice, beauty, and goodness exist outside of sensory experience and can be understood exclusively through the mind. Platonism invites us to look beyond appearances, seeking deeper meanings behind what is visible. The fifth millennial philosophy was born in America with the native peoples, and we are talking about Indigenous American philosophy. His vision is deeply rooted in the connection between man and nature. Orally transmitted teachings celebrate the symbiosis between humanity and the natural world, supporting the importance of living in harmony with the elements that surround us. This thought is rooted in an age-old wisdom, a philosophy without books or schools, but rich in respect for the earth as a living entity. Born 100 years later in China, we find the sixth philosophy, Taoism, which presents a unique vision of the universe and of living. Founded on texts such as Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, this Chinese school of thought emphasizes the concept of Wu Wei, or non-action, or effortless action. In Taoism, the essence of life is to flow naturally with the Tao, a mysterious force that pervades everything. This philosophy teaches, among other things, that forcing events or trying to control the inevitable only creates suffering, while true balance is achieved by letting things follow their natural course. In seventh place, we find Positivism, a philosophical movement born around 1800, which has its roots in science. Founded by Auguste Comte, this philosophy holds that true knowledge is obtained only through observation and empirical verification. For positivists, knowledge is based on measurable and experimental phenomena, eliminating any form of metaphysics and privileging concrete facts. This philosophy gave a significant impetus to the development of modern science, focusing on measurability and verification as criteria of truth. Continuing Stoicism, the eighth philosophy, invites us to find serenity by accepting what we cannot change and focusing on what we can control. This philosophy was born in Greece around 300 BC. Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, saw emotions as obstacles that distort the perception of reality. According to this view, virtue and wisdom are the paths to happiness, while external things, such as wealth or fame, are irrelevant to true inner serenity. The ninth philosophy is Utilitarianism. Developed in England in the late 18th century, it is based on the principle that actions are right if they tend to promote collective happiness. This school of thought, popular among Anglo-Saxon philosophers, judges ethics based on the practical effects of actions. An act is considered moral if it generates the greatest well-being for the greatest number of people. It is a philosophy that evaluates morality based on its utility, a pragmatic view that has profoundly influenced modern society. Empiricism, in 10th place, states that experience is the basis of all knowledge. It also originated in England around the 17th century. Unlike Rationalism, which relies on the mind, Empiricism, with thinkers such as John Locke and David Hume, holds that all ideas come from the senses. This approach contributed to the development of the scientific method, focusing on observation and experiment as means of knowing the world. The 11th is Idealism, a philosophy that sees reality as a product of the mind. According to thinkers such as Immanuel Kant, things are not as they appear. What we perceive is a mental construction. This thought explores the way in which the mind shapes reality, considering experience as a sort of representation where the individual has an active role in determining his vision of the world. Number 12, Buddhism, which offers a unique vision of suffering and liberation. Originated around 500 BC in India by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, this philosophy focuses on the Four Noble Truths, which describe the cycle of desire and pain. Buddhist practice suggests abandoning desires to reach a state of inner peace, nirvana. This vision is distinguished from others by its spiritual approach to serenity. In 13th place is Pragmatism, a philosophy that links the value of ideas to their practical application. Founded in America at the end of the 19th century, this movement focuses on the effectiveness of theories. As William James argued, A theory is valid if it works in practice and contributes to the improvement of life. Pragmatism is therefore a tool that aims to solve everyday problems effectively. The 14th philosophy is Epicureanism, which explores the idea of moderate pleasure as a path to happiness. Founded by Epicurus around the 14th century, this philosophy proposes the pursuit of serenity through simplicity, friendship, and reflection. Epicureanism encourages us to enjoy natural pleasures and avoid excess, teaching that happiness is found in a balanced life. Number 15 is Hinduism, one of the oldest and most complex philosophical traditions. It combines spirituality and philosophy. It is placed between 1500 and 2000 years before Christ and is based on the concept of Dharma, a universal code of conduct that guides every aspect of life, from personal ethics to understanding the universe. This philosophy embraces a cyclical view of existence where each life represents a step on the path to enlightenment. Hinduism represents a continuous spiritual journey made of rebirths and teachings which invites inner growth and connection with the divine. All these doctrines, apparently distant in time and space, tell a common story: the search for a profound meaning. Even though they come from different cultures and periods, they show that human beings have always tried to understand themselves and the world they live in. I hope to see you again in another of our videos. Goodbye. Thanks. See you next time.